Hi. All right. Let me see if we can add Malky onto this. See if we can add Malky. Whoa, hang on. I saw her go by. Invite Malky. See how that goes. Yes, I think we're good.
Whoa,
I think it's happening.
And I did it again.
Hi. How are you doing?
Okay, I gotta figure out how to change that.
So that it doesn't start on the other camera?
My daughter's been taking really excellent care of her room recently, so yeah, her room has like the best Wi-Fi outside of the living room. So I take it over for these lives, right?
Wi-Fi is in my bedroom in my apartment because the technician came and he checked all of the different outlets. I don't know, like the little spots in the wall where you can connect a router to, and he was like, "Yeah, the router's going to be in this room."
Right. Hold on. I'm trying to fix this. Yeah, it's just not. This is as good as it's going to be today. Okay.
Okay.
Some days
are
just like that.
Oh, don't do it. Okay. There's a cat.
There's a cat. The dog's over there.
Okay. Well, I can't see you. Hey, you. Someone developed a desperate need for affection about 10 minutes ago. Hi.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well, it's a cold day here.
So. It is. It is cold. It is wet. It is miserable. And therefore we need cuddles. Right, baby? Right? We need the cuddles. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and there we go, knocking the tech over. All right.
Okay, there's the top of my head, I promise. Is that better? See, it exists.
It does. It does. I never thought otherwise.
Let me see if I move this back a little bit. Normally we're a little, there we go. How's that? There we go.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great. Okay. So, here we are.
Yes. Is it 3 o'clock yet?
It's 3 o'clock, according to the clock that I have positioned behind you so that I can see it.
So smart. I'm so glad one of us is organized.
Oh, dear Lord,
forward thinking. Oh,
dear
come
Lord, no.
on.
Okay, so I saw a client of mine this morning, and she went, "Okay, so I'm going to send you some dates." And I was like, "Dates?" And she went, "Yeah, I'm going to send you some dates." And I was like, "Great. Help me out here." And she was like, "You know how you do astrology and I send you people's birth dates, then you analyze them?" And I was like, "Yes, good. Send me dates." Because I was like, did we say we were going to meet? And she has to, like, I had no idea what she was talking about.
No, that was vague. That was vague. When someone says, "I'm going to send you dates," I mean, in our culture, they could be inviting you to a wedding.
Yes, yes.
You know, suggesting when your next party should be, or booking a consult. There's no way to know.
You never know.
You need context.
Yes. All right. Well, it is now 3 o'clock.
Yes. So today's topic is laziness.
Today's topic is laziness. And should we introduce ourselves, or are we too lazy to do that?
Yeah, we should probably do that. That's a good idea. You go first.
Okay.
Chavo Mahler, tell us who you are.
I am Chavo Mahler. I am a practitioner of Chinese medicine and an expert in classical Chinese astrology.
And I'm Malky Swift. Wait, actually, I go by Malky Ramon now. I should probably introduce myself correctly. It's been a couple of weeks, you know. Right. I'm Malky Ramon. I'm a life coach, and I help women find the patterns in their lives that are holding them back and breaking out of them. Oh gosh, I had a client who had a breakthrough yesterday. Really, because when people think about patterns, they think about like small things. Like they can catch patterns of response. They can catch patterns of hey, this sets me off. But sometimes people will have a story that I'm not going to say that they keep recreating, because I don't know. That is way more responsibility than I'm willing to put on my clients' shoulders ever. But that keeps getting recreated in their lives. Possibly it's a dynamic with their partner. Sometimes it's just the message, like I believe in God. And I think that there are times where these patterns get recreated because God is trying to tell us something. God, and if we didn't listen the first, 4 times, doesn't mean He's going to give up. So it's just, so I'm never one of those people who's like, you keep recreating this pattern over and over again. You should really look into it. It's more like, okay, we're finding this extremely big pattern. And it was like, I can't give details because I really want to keep her privacy, but it had to do with several things coming to a head all at once. And these several things in different iterations keep coming to a head all at once for her. And it just happened again. I'm like, okay. And this is the other thing, is that long-term coaching, like, 20 weeks, 30 weeks, it makes a lot of sense because there are times where you can only pick up on things like, hey, wait a second, you told me the story with different actors, 3 months ago. This is the same story that you're telling me that happened way earlier than that. But it's the same story. It's just different participants, or the same participants in different roles, or the same participants in the same roles. And just like going, hold on a second, this is what's happening. And she went, oh, whoa. So we'll see where she goes with it, because sometimes the awareness of being in this is enough to get you, is enough. I mean, we've been working on lots of tools also, but oftentimes just the awareness that this is something that's happening for you is enough to make you make different choices this time around.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. It reminded me or triggered a memory. One point, like 15 years ago, I was talking to some women I knew about sexual harassment in the workplace because it was irrelevant. It was a topic that had just come up. And one of the women I was talking to, I remember which one, I'm not going to out her on Instagram, said, where I work is really great. We've only had 3 instances of sexual harassment since I've been working there. And they were all me. And I was like, okay, so I'm not saying it's her fault in any way. Like, the blame was entirely on the harassers. And yet, when you find yourself taking part in the same, just like you're saying, like reliving the same story over and over again, maybe it's nice if you can, or it's helpful or makes you safer, if you can, spot the introduction to the story and see if you can turn the page back.
Or just put the goddamn book away. You
know that little kid's book, There's a Monster at the End of This Book?
Yeah.
It was like the Sesame Street characters, and Grover's like, oh my God, I heard there's a monster at the end of this book.
Yeah.
If you can recognize, that you're in that book.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So if you can recognize that you're in a book, that's power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if that iteration, the dynamic continues the way it did, and it happens again. Sometimes the awareness is enough to break out of it. Sometimes you just go through it again. It's okay, and hopefully it's okay, right? Hopefully it's like I can't guarantee that every iteration of something terrible is going to work out okay. I'm not, I don't have that kind of power. But what I can say is that knowing that that's what's going on is enough to say, hey, wait a second, turn the page.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Have you seen Matilda yet?
No.
Matilda?
Oh, no, everyone else has.
Okay. I've seen the first half. But very early on, this is like not a spoiler, I don't think. If you know anything about the story, Matilda's a little girl. She loves reading books. That's okay. The extent of the spoilers. But at some point early on in the movie, she recognizes that like she's in a story that she's seen played out, she's read played out, and she's like, maybe I can change it.
Interesting. Because my familiarity with Matilda is from the original Roald Dahl book, which my daughter had playing on audiobook for about a year once.
You have my condolences, but you all survived.
It was, hey, listen, it was how, like she developed a taste for like some really excellent literature with all those audiobooks that she listened to between the ages of 4 and last week. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so today's topic, we actually have a topic.
We had a subject prepared.
Yes,
And
we might even get to it.
We might get to it.
Which is super exciting.
I think, should we just, I don't think there's any point in trying to like circle back around and sneak up behind it. I think we should just jump on it. And,
No, we're just going to jump on it. Okay. Yeah, that's,
All right.
also, let's be honest, that circling around subtlety thing, there are things I'm really good at, and that does not make the cut.
Everyone's got their strengths. Okay, so today's topic doesn't exist. Maybe that's why we're having trouble finding it.
Oh, that could be it. Oh, wow, that was excellent. I'm super impressed. Bravo.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you. So today's topic is laziness and why it's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
It is not a thing. And ever since we announced last week that this was going to be our next subject, I've been running it by people. They're like, oh, how was your Instagram Live? Are you going to do it again? It was cool. What are you going to be doing about it? And I'm like, oh, about how laziness isn't a thing. And I've gotten a very wide range of responses from like, oh, okay, it's like a positive thinking, like all of your bad sides have good sides to them. My favorite response so far is like, oh, yeah, so someone was explaining to me about how sloth is a Christian concept and we're not Christians, so we shouldn't care about it or something like that. So I don't know. That's a new one on me. But
wow. Just for the record, we are pro-negative thinking, and we covered that last week.
Yes. Anyone who wants to hear about our thoughts, anyone who wants to hear our thoughts about negative thinking,
which we
can really just
we support negative thinking.
We are, but you can literally just scroll down or sideways or however this is set up, because I don't actually update Instagram that often. So it's
right, on either of our pages. It was posted to me also.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that tech to work. I feel proud and accomplished.
Yes.
Okay. So we are on the topic of laziness because you said something about laziness last week, and I don't remember what it was anymore.
I called myself lazy. I said I was being lazy about something, or probably just in general, to be honest.
And I was like, laziness isn't a thing.
You have come to change my mind.
I have.
Yes. Change my mind, please.
Okay. So it's like this. All your brain and body care about is not getting eaten, getting enough food to survive, and passing on your genes.
Okay, yeah.
Like basically, right? At the end of the day, everything that you do or don't do is going to be motivated, again, way down deep, by one of those drives. All right? So anything that we do in order to increase our chances of survival. We are mammals. We're large mammals, like compared to all mammals. We're much bigger than the standard, little shrew-sized mammal. Therefore, in order to exist, we need a lot of calories. We need a lot more calories than we would need if we were cold-blooded or, didn't actually have to go out and hunt things down and kill them, eat them, which we don't generally do anymore, but still.
Oh, and on top of it, our brains.
And our brains.
Our enormous, mega-sized, calorie, monster-eating brains.
There is actually
40% of our calories go here.
20. I know it's a quarter of our oxygen goes straight to the brain. There's actually a TED Talk all about how we couldn't evolve the brains that we have before we started using fire, because you literally need to be able to cook food to break it down and make the nutrients bioavailable.
Right.
In order to run a brain this size without eating, more hours than there are in the day, just spending more than 24 hours a day chewing. Okay, so our bodies are designed to stay alive. Wasting calories kills us.
Right. Okay.
Right. This is my personal headcanon for why all of a sudden the X-Men appear in the late 20th century. Like, can you imagine how many calories it burns being able to move things with your mind or do telepathy or grow wings? Like anyone who had mutant genes before the 1950s would have just starved.
Okay, I think we're getting far afield, but that was fantastic. Thank you. All of the geeks in our audience are going, yeah!
Okay. Basically, any energy that we're spending that's not bringing us in immediate payback or either more energy or not getting eaten as far as our lizard brain is concerned, increases our chances of dying.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm spending calories and I'm not getting more calories back, and I don't have to run away from a saber-toothed tiger. There's no point. Like, there's no point. We are programmed. It's like a computer where if you don't jiggle the mouse, it goes to sleep. Like, we're programmed to literally just collapse and rest anytime that we don't need to be hunting for food, eating food, stopping children from like falling off of cliffs or running away from things. So, it's I saw someone I saw like walking down the street once had a T-shirt that was like, "I'm not lazy, I'm in power saving mode." That's it. We're in power saving mode. And I think a lot of the times when people are like, "Oh my God, I'm so lazy because I didn't do this. Oh my God, I'm so lazy I didn't do that," they're either forgetting about the fact that they actually need 8 hours of sleep a night. And if they're not getting 8 hours of sleep a night and like around 2,000 healthy calories a day, their body is just not going to let them do anything if it can help it. Or they're confusing laziness with anxiety, which is causing them to not want to deal with things.
Right. Yes. That one. Ooh, the anxiety piece. That makes, confusing laziness with anxiety. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Sure. Yeah. It's funny. I actually, at this point in time, every one of my clients is on how other people have clients who are on an exercise regimen? My clients, all of them are on a rest regimen. Intentional, thought out, I am going to rest. And each one of them does it a little bit differently. Each one of them has a different time of day, but it's mandatory. I do it also. There's a time where I finish in the kitchen, early, I finish making lunch. I have kids living at home who they have to eat every single day. Do you know that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's like I just fed you yesterday. Like the dog too, but for the dog, all I have to do is take like a cup and scoop it, and then that's easy.
I mean, you could do that with kids. You just kind of raise their expectations a bit early on.
I did all of those like yummy home cooked meals. I should have, had I fed them out of the freezer section of the local grocery store. It would be easier for me now. But no. They like actual meals. There's quinoa today. But then I take that as my signal to like chill. I'm going to take half an hour and I'm just going to like hang out on the couch. This is my time. This is my break. And that's how I do it. I have clients who rest in the morning. One client, and I think this is kind of genius, she sets her alarm a little bit earlier so she can rest after she sleeps, which...
Oh, okay. So can I hop in there for a second?
Go ahead.
And say that this has gotten a really bad rap. I don't know how we say this in English, but people have learned, a lot of my clients, that you shouldn't keep hitting the snooze button because like if the alarm jerks you awake and then your brain starts to fall back asleep and then the alarm wakes you up, like that is awful for your brain. It feels awful. You're not actually getting rest. You're not getting restful sleep. And so a lot of people are like, okay, I have to set the alarm for when I want to get up. I actually do the same thing as your client. I set my alarm for 10 minutes early or 15 minutes early, depending on how exhausted I feel, and then I have a second alarm following it up. And the idea is not to fall back asleep. The idea is that, once I'm woken up by the alarm, I can just lie in bed, breathe deeply, think about the day a little, pet my cat, and the second alarm is just a backup in case I fall back asleep, which I almost never do. But yeah, just to be able to slowly take in the day.
Yes.
So I think that's brilliant. Yes. And the rest regimen, I really need to start doing that. I remember I had a client once, a patient with fibromyalgia and a lot of other health problems who was coming to me. Actually, I was going to her for acupuncture twice a week. So this was intense. She was spending money. I was spending a lot of effort. And I would go there and I would do a treatment for her. And the next day she would feel great. And she would get up and she would start doing everything on her to-do list. She would go shopping and she would buy the groceries and she would clean the house because she didn't like how other people washed the floors. And she was like sorting through her late husband's things. So she would like take a couple hours of, And astonishingly enough, the next day she felt just as bad as she had before the treatment. And we went on like this for a couple weeks before I was like, listen, that energy you wake up with, that energy is supposed to be healing your body.
Yes.
And if you're wasting that energy on doing things rather than letting your body actually heal, you're not going to make any progress.
Yes. Yes.
And so that's another point. Sorry, go on. I could go on and then I kept talking. But that's another point with the whole, like, when your body tells you to rest, sometimes it's because you need to rest. Rest is an active thing. Rest isn't passive. Rest isn't like doing nothing. Rest is letting a ton of inner, I forgot the word in English, processes work so that your body can be better, it can be healthier.
Yeah.
All right, now you can talk.
Right after that surgery I had recently, I was really sick for a couple of months, and it was like, it's really depressing. I was sick for 3 months. They could have done the surgery right away. They didn't. And I ended up getting it in the middle of the night anyway, because that's just how things turned out. But immediately afterward, I just had this amazing burst of energy. It was fantastic to finally be able to feel energetic again. But couldn't do anything. It was great because that was what that burst of energy was for. That burst of energy was heal and stay in bed. Although actually I was supposed to walk around a lot. That was good. But it was like gentle walking. Although if I can just completely, as an aside, that is absolutely, I was super high from the morphine and all the other stuff they gave me, and I needed to walk, but the room was rocking. So I ended up, I kid you not, I'm super high, and I am doing the cha-cha across the hallways in the ward. Step, 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 because that's the only way I can move without falling over. Yeah, I can laugh. Yeah, I was laughing about it then. I'm laughing about it now. I just laugh. Yeah,
no, you would definitely be my choice of roommate if I had to stay in the hospital for any length of time. Please, God, let that never happen. But, all right.
Whoops.
Yep. Yep, MJ.
We are professionals, right? That's Emily D. Baker's line. We are professionals.
I don't know that one. But, yes, we're professionals at helping people improve their lives, not at
You're not a tech. Yeah, tech. That is not, but helping people improve their lives. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I love what I do. I really do.
It's wonderful.
Like, super energizing. Yeah. Okay, so what else do we have to say about laziness other than it's built into the system, and it's not laziness, it's either anxiety or power power saving mode.
Yeah, if you want to see power saving mode, I will show you my cat who is done knocking stuff over for the moment. Yes, I'm glaring at you. Yes.
Yeah, my dog has power saving mode. She very much does. So she's not in it as much as you'd think she would be for a dog, but yeah, but she's often not asleep. She's just present.
Just present, just resting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think that's like the biggest thing is just, if something's going on and you're not happy about it, then the question to ask yourself is, why is this happening?
Right.
Not to be beating yourself up, or
are you trying to do too much? Because a lot of people who think they're lazy are actually simply trying to accomplish more than can possibly be done in a single day. And
one thing that I think very helpful once, actually, like as I was starting my own business and running everything, and you know how it goes, was to take. So I had a to-do list. I work with a to-do list, and so for a week I tried to take my to-do list the night before, take my to-do list for the next day, and put everything into my calendar, into like a schedule, leaving room to eat, and breathe occasionally. And it turned out that my to-do list did not fit into 10 hours a day, because self-employed, we don't work 8 hours a day.
Right.
So yeah, that was like, it's not physically possible to do all the things that I'm expecting myself to do. That explains a lot.
Okay. Hold on half a second. I can't believe I closed the door. Give me half a second. I'm so sorry.
All right. Well, Malky is, I assume we're moving a dog from the room.
There we go. My daughter. came home and the dog must go greet her. And I thought it was a good idea to close the door, but she cannot unlock doors by herself. So
Probably for the best. After I was about to say you could teach her, but maybe not.
no, she's kind of a little dog. Although my cat, who was roughly the same size, could just jump, unlock a door, and open up a door handle and go on her way.
That's impressive.
Is it really? We're just used to it. Okay.
Yeah, I had a goat that could open door handles. Sorry, I'm just adjusting this because I've noticed that I'm at a weird angle. All right. So before we go, we should let people know that we are doing a thing.
Yes.
This is our thing, right?
Thing.
Yep.
Thing.
This is a thing. So in lieu of a better term, since, as previously mentioned, we are great at helping people improve their lives, and we are not so great at tech, and we are not at the point where we can afford, like, a producer to produce a podcast for us. We've decided to just skip right over the middleman, and I'm calling it, until we come up with a better term, an Instacast.
Instacast, okay.
Instacast.
We coined it right here.
Yes. Every Tuesday, and we know today isn't Tuesday, but we sat down and looked at our calendars for the future to try and come up with when we can have a regularly scheduled time. We will be Instacasting every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Israel time, which is 1 p.m. EST and 6 p.m. In the UK and Ireland. And hopefully everyone can work out what that is for them locally based on that. We will be talking about topics that can improve your life and giving you viewpoints that you have not previously run into. Do we have anything anything slightly more specific about what topics we're going to be covering, or is that?
Oh, wow. Whatever falls into making your life a little bit better or a lot better, tiny tips, and really how to approach ideas, how to think about the things, or how we think about the things that we might believe are holding us back, but are in fact exactly the things that help us boost forward, such as laziness
and negative thinking. And do we have a topic for next week?
And laziness, and now that I'm thinking about what you just said, laziness is not a bug, it's a feature. And you need to lean into it. You need to get your rest, because if you don't get your rest, you're not going to be able to accomplish as much. Oh, and if you're healing from anything, please, okay, this is actually, I have no science for this. This simply comes, very, very little known fact about me. I was born in the former Soviet Union. And one of the things that we very much believe there is that brains require rest. And the more brain work you do, the more intellectual your work is, the more you need to take time off and just be in nature and be in quiet. And I just, and so many of us, we get sick, we keep working, we keep expecting things from ourselves. Especially, I have another client right now who is recovering from the flu. The flu this season has been brutal. I am pretty sure, it's just been brutal, leave it at that. And she must rest. She's trying to and on top of it, she's this, I love her so much. She's like this amazing, amazing client. And I say that about all my clients. It's true. I do say that about my clients. But rest, we'll cut it short. Rest.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we can probably
from anything, extra rest.
And we can probably find the science for the brains needing more rest thing. Probably, because they're doing a lot of work with scanning people's brains in MRIs about meditation and creativity, and I bet we can find the science for that.
It's nothing.
Because it is the case.
Nothing I ever saw in the West, and definitely not in the U.S., where culturally is very puritanical. I think this is a good use of the word puritanical, where you're either working or you're a horrible human being. So no. Get rest, please.
Absolutely. Well, I remember I was reading Rabbi Shlomo Goren's autobiography.
Oh yeah.
And I think so he's the first rabbi of the IDF, of the Israeli Defense Forces, way back actually before the founding of the state and the founding of the IDF. He kind of started out there. And he was apparently lectured at one point by Rav Kook, who was the first, Rabbi Kook was the first Ashkenazi chief rabbi of Israel. And for working too hard. Because Rav Kook told him this story about how when he started out as a young community rabbi, the community, as part of his contract, the community would pay for him to go on a sabbatical month every year. So every year, 1 month in summer, he went away to a resort. It was paid for by the community. And one of the community members also one year went away to the resort and saw him there studying and walked over to him and said, "You can't do that." And he was like, "What do you mean? I'm a rabbi. I'm supposed to study. This is what I'm supposed to do with my free time." And the man was like, "No, the community is paying for you to be here so that you can rest and recuperate so that when you come back, you will be a better rabbi for the community. And if you are spending your time here studying, you're not resting, you're not recuperating, and the community is not getting their money's worth."
Yes. And we can extend this way out of community rabbi to business owner, employee, parent, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend. We can extend it out.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah. Well, I chose this week's topic, so you get to choose next week's topic.
Oh, great. Oh, put me on the spot. Why don't you?
Yeah, I know, because otherwise we'll just be texting back and forth until like next week.
And then we're going to like come on and just talk about whatever. Yeah. Oh, no. I have to choose next week's topic. Okay. How about expectations? That's a nice one. That's
all right, I don't know how we're fitting that into half an hour, but we will talk about expectations next
okay,
week.
So let's go with expectations, and we're gonna need to
not great expectations.
What we'll do is we'll text back and forth to talk about which expectations.
Okay.
But I think expectations is a good one. Like where expectations are a good thing and where expectations are hurting us. Like everything else.
Absolutely. Beautiful. All right, so I am going to risk breaking everything and see if real quick I can show you a photo or a picture. There we go, of my kitty in power saving mode. And you can also see that I set my computer up on my massage table. But there, she's done knocking things over and she went right into power saving mode.
Very, very impressive.
All right. Well, I will see you next week. We will definitely text before then.
Tuesdays. At whatever your time zone says it is.
Or, yes, and you'll do the Canva?
Eastern.
1 p.m. Eastern. You'll do a Canva thing?
Yeah, I'll do the Canva thing.
You do the Canva thing. Yeah, just.
Yeah.
Okay, Lord save me from Canva.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Have a great week.
Fantastic. Okay, see you next week.
See you next
week. Okay. Bye.